Aye, 'tis a beautiful Irish morning with a cool rain falling. Well, too bad I'm in New York and I felt like riding today. Maybe I'll find something to do in the garage. Hey, I got something to install. Now, I got a limited special series F3, so there's not much more I can do to it, otherwise it's going to start looking like Doc Brown's DeLorean from Back to the Future, but I think I got something. Alright, today I'm going to install the Lidlox bar end helmet locking system. Now, I don't know if it's a system, but you know what? I'm calling it a system now. I'm really not a huge fan of helmets hanging off the side of my bike or anything, but the reason why I'm doing this is because of my Shoei RF 1200. It fit in the front trunk pretty good of my F3 Limited Special Series, but ever since I put this chin mount on it for my GoPro moto vlogging, I'm really not a fan of the fit. I mean, even before, it was like, would take about 3 or 4 times for the helmet to fit in there, so I don't know what Can Am is saying. A full face helmet could fit in here, no problem. Yeah, it can fit in there, but it's not without its problems. But now with this camera mount on the front of it, yeah, no, I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way it feels when it closes, so that's why I'm doing this, and I'm doing it for you. So what you get in the kit, and this is the single kit, you get a locking tumbler, you get the locking housing, you get 2 fat handcuff keys. I call them fat handcuff keys because that's what my dad had. Remember those big stainless steel padlocks? These keys would open them all. That was the problem. These keys would open up them all. You get a 2mm Allen, and that's for the little set screw that holds the tumbler in. I don't know if you could see that. That's going to hold your tumbler in. Lidlox sends you a longer 5mm bolt to go into the bar end, and you have your hook that goes into the D-rings and holds the helmet on. I'll show you that. The only thing you have to provide, blue thread locker if you want. We'll talk about that in a minute. And your own 5mm Allen key. Now, some people send you free candy. That's awesome. The rest of it, you're on your own. But you know what? Enough explaining at the table. Let's get to the bike and see what kind of trouble we could start. Alright, so you're going to have your choice of the throttle side or the non-throttle side. Unless you got the pair for 2 helmets, then your choices are kind of limited. But I went with the single, and I'm going to go with the non-throttle side. The reason why, 2 of them, is this is the side I get on and off the bike. I mean, with my MS and, you know, my daily difficulties, whatever you want to call them, it's just easier for me to get on and off the trike from this side. And plus, you know, I saw a couple videos and I heard a couple things about a throttle spring popping off when you take the end cap off on the throttle side. I don't even want to come close to be messing with this. So, non-throttle side it is. So you want to take your 5mm Allen, and you want to be careful. This is on there kind of snug, so when you break the seal, you want to do it nice and slowly, nice and carefully. You can see that end cap is starting to come loose. Now you're going to take that off, and you're going to keep the end cap because the end cap is going to go back on with the Lidlox unit. Alright, so hold on to your end cap. Don't lose it. Alright, so I have my Ultimate F3 floorboard set up like a little workbench. Seriously, I love these boards. They help me out even when I'm not moving. So I want to take my lid lock housing, and I want to take the 5mm bolt. I want to slip it through there. Then I want to take the end cap from the bar, and I want to fish that through. Just so enough of the meat's sticking out. It's bottomed out there, just like the stock one. And I'm going to want to take a little bit of blue Loctite. Now, I know we talked about it before. People don't like Loctite or thread locker. I really, really do, especially the blue. Don't use the red because then you're going to need the heat gun to get it out and everything like that. The blue is pretty much harmless. And me, I'm a torque monster. I don't like getting to the end of something and then going, did I just strip that? So the thread locker helps me back off just a little bit and not mess things up. All right, let me get some blue Loctite on here, and we're going to put it on the bar end. Alright, we're in business. Tighten this down. You want to get nice and snug, but the one thing you want to do is you see how the housing here is spinning. After a while, after tightening down, it's not going to take too long, but you just want to make sure that that slot is lined up down because that's where your hook's going to go in. You kind of don't want it at an angle, so I'm just going to hold it with my fingers, and I'm going to tighten down the rest and give it a good, nice, snug turn. Now with that Loctite in there and it being nice and snug, I'm a happy camper. Alright, let me get the tumbler now. Alright, now the tumbler, you're just gonna start by hand, and then after a little bit, you're gonna want to get that fat handcuff key. It's gonna act like a little bit of a wrench to turn it all the way in. You don't want to torque it down too much because, again, it's just a key. It's not a wrench. It's going to snap on you. So just get it till it bottoms out. And you don't want to do Loctite in here, not on the tumbler. It's going to stay in because you have the set screw underneath it. So just go until it stops. So hand tight. It stopped. That's as far as I'm going. Seriously. Back away now, Rob. Just back away. Alright, this is the set screw, the little 2mm Allen key or Allen bolt that Jason Culp was talking about on the boards, about putting some blue Loctite. So I'm just going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on the end, just because his recommendation was he went down the road, some vibration happened, the screw backed out. When he came home, the tumbler, everything was gone. I don't really want that kind of headache, so I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite. I'm going to get it back in underneath here, and I'm going to lock that tumbler in. Alright, I got my blue Loctite on the set screw, and I'm just going to tighten it down. I don't want to do too much because it's, again, I'm speaking more to myself than you. It's a tiny, tiny screw, so I don't want to really torque it down and mess it up. Plus, I got the blue Loctite on there now. It's going to make me feel a lot better. So just till it stops, and then just a little bit more. Alright, that should do me just fine. But just to show you preliminarily, you put the hook in there, you press the little button, and there you go. That hook is hanging, your helmet's going to hang from here, and then to unlock it, you just take your fat handcuff key, fit it in there, turn it, boom, your helmet comes out, key comes out, you're off to go. So let's try it with the helmet now. Alright, helmet time. So what I want to do is I want to take the hook and I want to fish it through my D-rings there, and I want to support it. I definitely want to support it, and I want to guide it through the slot, press the button, there you go. My helmet is hanging, my helmet's secured. It feels really good. Hey Gimpy Rob, how you doing? Alright, so this is a showy RF 1200 helmet. It's a pretty sizable heavy helmet, but I don't want to leave it on my seat when I go in somewhere, you know. I got the custom visor on it. It's a showy helmet. Those things disappear like nothing. I mean, these are $500-600 helmet. I got the GoPro mount. I got the GoPro audio thing. It's a lot to lose if someone walks away with the helmet. And as you can see, the clearance here, I don't know if you could see that, the clearance is pretty good. So it's not going to hit your bike. I mean, yeah, if there's a lot of wind out, I could see the helmet, you know, moving, or if you bump it or whatever. But you know what? If it's really, really windy out, you're probably not going to be riding anyway or doing too many stops. So, and then again, when it's time to ride, you take your fat handcuff key, line up the tab. Now you always want to hold and support the helmet because this thing is just going to drop on you. So get your key in there. My eyes aren't so good, so trying to line it up is a little bit of a challenge. Get your key in there, turn, your helmet comes off. Again, I like it. I mean, the only thing that if I could really nitpick, I don't know if it was Lidlox, I don't know if it was the dealer, but it came with this little bit of a scratch on it. I definitely didn't do that, believe me. If I'm paying money for something, I want to put the dents and the dings and the scratches in it, but this one came with it. But I have a little Krylon black paint pen. I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just going to touch it up just to get rid of the shininess of it. But honestly, this is a great product. So if you're looking for a solution for your helmet when you're not riding, Lidlox is the way to go. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by today. You know, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this with people. I'm a small channel and I really enjoy this, so getting the word out, man, that would mean the world to me. So I hope you guys have a great day and ride safe. Thanks for stopping by.